Hello again, Rubber Band here with another Key Machine Chronicles, and I have one of the legendary machines here today in the Framon number 2. I got this in a buyout pretty recently, and I wanted to show you all how this one is meant to work. We source all of the information for cuts and such in this fun book, so we will be going through this, and we're going to be cutting a key to a Schlage construction core, which is my usual standard for making sure a machine is accurate, given that these cylinders tend to be accurate, and I have a lot of SC4, them being a ubiquitous blank around this little key shop. So, what we have here, so we've got Schlage, pin tumbler, Everest, Bryna, so we could do all this stuff. So getting this machine calibrated to a key system is really fun. It's kind of a mechanical sort of machinist process, so that's going to be pretty entertaining. So spacing block 1. So you'll see on the side here, we have this anodized aluminum carriage. This holds the spacing blocks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I think this is for flat steel. No, this is automotive. So this one is special. It's not numbered because it's not part of the initial series, but it is back there. So we're going to be using space block 1 right here. It tells us the increments we move them in, number of spaces, etc. So here's how we're going to get started. So I'm going to grab the spacing block now, right here. And this is the spacing block carriage. So it tells us that the increment, I'll set that right there. So if you look right here, the increment spacing is 156. So that means that this particular spacing block already has a setup for Schlage. So that's going to be this, 156. So I'm going to just slide it in here. And so this is kind of just a gauge for how far we're going in between these spacing blocks. So it just snaps right in there, pretty positive. Stop. I'm going to move it all the way to the left. So following that, I'm going to move this carriage all the way to the left. But first I'm going to put in my blank. And I'm going to throw the tip stop over. All right. So now we're going to get this all the way to the left. There's a stop screw right here. So we're going to just go until we hit that. This is going to zero out. This is going to be our reset position. Right there. Okay, so we're at 0. So getting this set up for the first cut is basically the only sort of tricky part. So it tells us where our cuts start at because we have to dial to it. So our cuts start at 231. Every revolution of this spacing crank is 50 thousandths of an inch. So we're going to do 4 revolutions, stop, and then dial up another 31. So 1 revolution, 2 revolutions, 3 revolutions, 4 revolutions, and we dial up to 31 from here. Right there. So that's fine and dandy. So now what we're going to do is, this is our first cut right here on this spacing block. I'm going to zoom in for this part of the action. Okay, so right here on the spacing block, we're actually just going to move that to be even with this pointer here. So once we move through here, since these are already in accordance with the spaces for Schlage, I will just advance to the next one because it's calibrated for this key system already. So roll it on back. Okay, so we will have to advance through the depths with this depth dial. So here's how we're going to do it. So here's our depths. Yeah, that's Scion. So, all right. So right here, here's our depths. So our bidding is going to be 347,594. So I'm going to set this off screen and I'll be looking at it while I do this. So we're going to get to 3, which is 290. All right, you can see right here, these are depths. So I'm going to go up to 300. Right here's 300. It zeros at every one of these. So at 100, it'll zero 50, because 50 thousandths is, again, the revolutions. So I'm going to dial back because it's at, make sure I'm doing this right, 290 for the first cut. So we're going to go back 10 thousandths. All right, now we're going to start cutting. So I'm going to zoom back out a little bit. So there is some accessories and fun stuff that this comes with. This is for tip stops and a little piece of shim, extra little shoulder stops and stuff, springs for stuff. So it came with a lot. So, all right, here we go. Depth 3, cut 1. All right, now we're going to just advance to the next cut via that crank that I described earlier. It zeroes out right here. So now the next cut is going to be a 4. 4 being 275. So I'm at 290 right now. So I'm going to go up to 300 again, just so I keep my bearings, 275. So I'm going to dial back 10, 20, 5 thousandths. I'm not super proficient with this machine, but it is so interesting, so I'm just running through the motions here. Here's a 4. That sweet brass instrument. Okay. Now we're going to move to the next cut. Seven is 230. So I'm going to dial back to 250. I'm going to dial back another 20. Pull our carriage lever. You can do this faster than I'm doing it, but I like to hear it scream. So, okay, next space. All right. Next is a 5. 5 is 260. So we're going to dial up to the 250 again. And right there. All right, next one's a 9, which is just a flat 200. Be sure to advance the cuts. Spaces anyway. Here we go. Deepest cut for this key system. There's plenty of others that are deeper. Okay. Sixth cut, which is a 4, and we're back to 275. So let's go up to 250. It's 0, there's 250. So we're gonna go 10, 25. And then last cut. Okay. Pull this away from here. Loosen this up. Looks pretty good so far. I'm going to just hit it with the wire brush. Guess I should do a Key Machine Chronicles for my actual main originator and duplicator, since I've covered them before, but not in the format of Key Machine Chronicles. So, all right, so we're going to zoom out. All right, we've got our construction core here. So, as you see, the key works. Here's our new key. And it turns brilliantly, which is just great. So, the cool thing about this machine, so we've got accurate keys. So now we can just talk about the machine and what I like about it. This machine is extremely versatile, and really, when you get into locksmithing, everybody kind of talks about code cutters being the kind of holy grail of what really is the definitive trait of a locksmith, and we kind of become known by the tools we use, just as a matter of because that's what's going to make our accurate keys, and that's going to keep customers coming in and the like, and we become really attached to the things that we work on every day, and it's at least I do. So I'm speaking anecdotally, but I can probably imagine other people feeling the same way about tools they use every day, and that they become very familiar with them, and they tend to come to love them a lot. And that includes something like this, which is just so neat. So there's this machine, the Framon 2. There's the HPC Blitz machine, which uses the cards and the lens and another dual dial system. The Ilco Universal 2, which is a clone of that system. Rytan, who make my duplicator, they had a clone of the Blitz 2. And then there's things like the ITL machine, which is an electromechanical variant of an originator. And those are all really great. So I have always attested that I think the Framon, this one, is a superior machine to the Blitz in essentially every way. You don't have to spend a lot of time switching wheels, though you can. This comes with a Medico wheel, and if you want to cut Medico keys, it's very easy. You just pull this lever out of the way. Once I muscle it out of here, and then you just pull this positive stop out of the way. So there's left axis, center, right. So it's extremely versatile machine. Everything is extremely accurate, given that these are micrometer dials. This comes with a dial caliper, so you can check cuts, all that. These space blocks are extremely intuitive. You can, once you get calibrated to a particular key system, you can knock out keys extremely quickly, and I would say far quicker and more accurately than the Blitz machine, and these are much easier to calibrate yourself. It's just some set screws for these dials. You re-zero everything. You get them aligned with these, and then use the supplied calipers to get everything going for you. And really, I think they're a more handsome machine. The Blitz has had all of its kinks knocked out, and it's still a good machine. However, I think dollar for dollar, the Blitz is better. And I cannot believe I just misspoke. The Framon number 2 is better. I was thinking, I don't know. Anyway, final opinion, the Framon number 2 is better. They had one of these machines that had digital readout micrometers that looked like they had just taken some Harbor Freight dial caliper, or not dial calipers, but digital calipers, and just cut the ends off of them and then put them on this axis. And it was called the Framon 2D or 2 Digital. It did atrociously. It's no longer made. They stopped making it 18 years ago. They don't support it or anything. It was just considered to be a washout, because this machine, it's already so good that you don't really need to do much to it. There's a 2-sided jaw, so you can do SFIC keys pretty easily. You can get your tip stop under here. There's if you need to cut from either direction, there's a shoulder stop that can come from up underneath and such. So really, they really did everything right with this one. And it's another one of those things that's really stood the test of time as far as usability, and also making great accurate keys. The only thing that I wish it had somehow would be a wire brush. You kind of need that for a machine to deburr its keys, and this one doesn't have it. But I think they assume that if you have a machine like this, you probably have something to knock burrs off the keys. So that's really all I got to say about the Framon number 2. Just wanted to show you it in use, show you how to get to a key system started and the like, and really just show you how really pleased I am with a machine like this. I think that this will keep somebody very happy for a long time. So congrats to whoever's getting this bad boy when it gets moved on. But here we go, the Framon number 2. And as always, I've been Rubber Band, and thanks for watching.